All right. Ooh, The Purge. This sounds interesting. Another interesting movie, The Purge. J Park, pH-1, Big Naughty, Woodie Gochild, HAON, Trade L, and Sik-K. That's a ton of people. I'm going to guess based on this thumbnail that this has Purge vibes like the movie. You thought we did this? I don't think we did this. Maybe we did. But J Park is McNasty. I feel like there's only a couple songs we know of J Park. How many MVs left? Technically, this is number 12 of 20, so there would be a lot more. I just don't know if we're going to go for that long. All right. Okay, good.
For the money and got to coming for your head. 몰라 머리카락 빨리 숨어 better before they find you dead. 기회는 한번 되지 마 버벅 spill that red like Johnny Walker. 우리는 못 나빠 손에 안 잡혀 진짜로 위험해 왜 자꾸 시험해 better quit test me. Ay, my click next to me. Ay, 눈앞에 보이는 대로 줄 세워서 한 명씩 뚜두두 rest in peace. On the bird so them birds pull up. On the bird so them birds pull up. Yeah. 다시 카푸 쏘고 다시 가지 넌 바지 잡고 대방전 ill. I just wanna pop up motherfucker 사실 없어 난 반전 ill. I was on my bag 다시 중에만 그는 꽉맨 너는 매일 바삐 계속 걸어가고 man. What about you bitch 난 필요해 갱생 밤새도 밤샐 것 같아 똑같지 않한테 안 돼도 같아 우리보다 빠르게 Study by danger So many gangsters So many dancers Look love ranger 이러고 댕겨
Damn, this is crazy. This is so good.
이건 영화가는 정신 차려 떨어지는 버려 열시감 떨어져 버려 멀찌감 쫓아가는 벌지 열심히 쳐다봐 모두 여기 님이 돼서도 우리 매락대로 너를 발표를 소리로 하게 왜 모르겠어 Break the windows and look like this place on fire Everybody masked up like Michael Myers The car after we shed the tires How you getting caught and the feelings for higher It's the purge, look up in the purge It's the purge, don't end up in the dirt It's the purge, get nothing your words It's the purge, better got this the purge I'm an outlaw riding on my horse With Benny running through my veins, seeping out my pores Steal from the rich and I give to the poor
Now we're 2:31 into a 4:13 video. I feel like we need to have a switch up happen before the end. That beat has got to drop off at some point. You got to give us a pause and then bring it back harder.
Pitchfork, pitch dark. Yeah. I spit 16 bus when I was 16. They used to call me damn boy. 잡힌 misfit 취급받지 받아라 쌓이는 데모. 냉무 이기는 제목 또 내 메모장에는 chaos. 상대적인 내 배포 행방불명 마치 대포. But no cannon, no caption. Do not pull up in my section. 떨어져 텐션 나도 taken. Yeah. Better not test us. Yeah. 물에 뱉대 우리 몰라 배려. 들이대지마 우리 눈만 배려. 병제처럼 너는 불안해져. When we show up, you get in my house, yeah. 안소가 비슈 never know 발박을 바길. 맨발이여 지나 노톤 트롤레스 in the 바길. 네 사귀는 pose down give a fuck about it. 프라다하게 마비네 이미 또 다른 곳에 위치해 있잖아. 작은 내 꿈이
That was the switch up I was talking about.
방에서 이렇게 네가 무슨 말을 하고 싶은지는 나도 잘 모르겠지만 shit 모두가 벌벌 떨어도 나 혼자 파리 가만히 보니 여기서 파리 비행기 타고 저 멀리 떠나자 이게 버리고 Man better hide 이제 됐잖아 시간 I'm gonna kill High gang the highs we on ride 무대 아님 iPhone screen Email like pilots on the race so what was she at You think I can see ya It's the Purge RPI
Oh, really?
This the higher, we don't fuck around. We loot and wireless, burn the town. We leave it every we go
Nice.
down. That fuck the phone, let's take the crown. 우리 편안함은 반대편. 난 속된 매구사
They saying Old Spice? Wouldn't think so. But sometimes these boys surprise you. And they are all glistening, so it kind of makes sense. Old Spice? Old Spice? Tell you what I like about this. First of all, I like the song. I like the fact that they took 22 seconds to tell us a bunch of information quietly. Now, you know it's called the Purge. You even see it on the barrels there. You see the chaos, the anarchy. Like, you have some time to feel this scene. Now, earlier when we saw the Block B video with the bank heist, and I was talking about the sound design, and I was like, This is a good example of decent sound design. Listen to these sounds. Like, you can kind of hear the city around you. You feel like you're in the city, even when we cut. Now, there's a couple things they're missing, but for the most part, it's a lot more fluent. It feels better. You feel like you're in the scene. So when we cut out of the scene, you feel like you're there. You understand it. Now, you would think that they just recorded, the cameras just had a microphone and they just recorded what was going on. No. It's extremely rare that that works out. This is basically a muted shot, and we take all sound effects to build a scene down to like a door handle moving. And you hear the latch. The slight touch of that jiggle when the doorknob moves, most of the time is completely fake. Yeah. Now, what I would say, though, if you really want to clean this up and give it a little bit more texture, because I do feel like I'm in the city, but see if you can guess what we're missing. Listen closely. What are we missing? Skateboards. Yep. Shirts. We have traffic noises. Skateboards. Like, we had this one guy roll right by in the beginning. People's good too. We got 2 skateboards we didn't hear. And then I might even allow this spray can on the windshield. I would want to hear that. It might be super subtle, but I would want to hear that. Because, like, if you hear a spray can, picture a movie you're watching, the close-up goes to the hand, you hear it shake, and then you literally hear tss, 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 tss. You can kind of smell that. You know what that smells like. That's another round of texture that you can give to help set that scene for the viewer. And the more you can do that in the more confined amount of time that you have, the more invested people are going to be watching. And if you don't have time in a music video, generally speaking, to like develop a character that they're going to invest their time and emotions into, you can do it in other ways. And setting a scene like that as realistically as possible is one way. Even some footsteps here on the gravel would have been nice. Quiet, but Yeah, right there. Super subtle, super subtle. And then that also helps kind of make this smash cut into the title a little bit harder. Standing on the roof of a trunk as your weight shifts. Wouldn't that make a sound too? Absolutely. You can hear that dent, that little wobble of the sheet metal. Absolutely. Unless you're meant to feel as if you are apart and separate from other people. Yes, that's true. But outside of that theory, I don't see anything else that leads me to confirm that. Okay, Cassie, that's a great point. Here's, if I were going to go for that as a director and I want the viewer to feel like they are not a part of what they're seeing, I would actually show, let's see. Like when we get these close-ups of these guys, we never get acknowledged as the viewer, right? They're not breaking the fourth wall, obviously, but we have these moments where we're seeing some of the other characters back here. I would show the occasional close-up of somebody that's kind of like side-eyeing the camera. Almost also behind, like, if this is the edge of like the truck, right? And it's almost like you're watching me from behind the truck and I eyeball you, it makes you feel uneasy. We put the truck there so it feels like you're not supposed to be watching us. I'm not supposed to know that you're watching me. You're kind of hidden. And if I acknowledge you and I give you that look and then somebody else gives you that look, you start to feel like, oh, we're not welcome here. Ooh. So yeah, there's different ways. Like if we can show something one way, we also want to confirm it, unless we don't want to confirm it and we don't want the viewer to know which direction we're going, because we know there's going to be some foreshadowing at some point, or a twist in foreshadowing, and then a plot twist that you never really saw coming until you go back and you check all of the landmarks along the way. There is quite the psychology behind all of the storytelling and how it works. Yeah. The scream, the laugh, we're in it now. Yeah, so I like the fact that they set the scene, and then, because they've set it well enough, we understand the world that is created. So they can go from scene to scene to scene and just kind of run around and, you know, have rumpus time, and we kind of get it. The one thing I'm glad they didn't do was a big in-sync choreo scene. We have a lot of kind of over-the-top throwing and hands and yelling and screaming, and that's all great. That's perfect. That fits. If they had broken out into some choreo, I would have been like, nope, that doesn't match the vibe. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but for the way that they built it here, I think it would have been a miss for me. Because there's a grit here. One of the main characters of this video is grit. It's texture. And if you establish there's all this grit, I'm going to feel a little awkward to watch them all of a sudden like do, especially if they're dressed like this. Yeah, choreo would not fit a Purge. I agree. Ooh, and I like that there's almost the sound of a police siren in the song. Listen. Nice. Love it. This is a good one. J Park, pH-1, Big Naughty, Woodie Gochild, HAON, Trade L, Sik-K. Awesome. Well done. That is from 4 years ago. 10 million views. It's Noah backwards. How do I say it? HAON, Noah, Noah, HAON, HAON. Or is the name Noah backwards? Like Prince gave himself a symbol and then he was no longer Prince. He was the artist formerly known as Prince. Kind of worked against him. He was like, I did not think this through. Too soon. I like this break here. As if it's over.
This the higher, we don't fuck around. We lootin' wireless, burn the town. We leaving under we ghost the time. And fuck the phone, let's take the crown.
And somebody had said this is a cipher, so they're not going to most likely follow standard rules and formulas, which I totally get. And when I reference the idea that, okay, we're this far in, we kind of need something to happen. I need a drop. I need this beat to break off. That's not, I don't say that because of like formulaic rules. I say that from a pacing issue, right? So and they did it just right, because not only did they break the rhythm of that beat, because it can get stale and then it loses punch. You got to keep our interest the whole time. You got to change it up. So not only do they do that with the beat, but they cut it off here and then they bring it back in a completely fresh way. They can bring back the same beat and it feels fresh again. Okay, we're back on board. Old Spice, Old Spice. I like it. I like it. Well done, fellas. Well done. Well done, everybody involved. The whole crew, the whole kit and caboodle.